Let me ask you, Dr. Gimondo, this is the 31st year. You've done the first 30. How does it look?
I think it looks great, and I'm confident in his leadership. I'm confident in his vision, and I am sure that under his leadership, the committee will reach new heights. You mentioned earlier that I met with Mr. Tallarini to get the first grant, the $50,000 grant. Actually, was Berardo Paradiso who introduced me to Tallarini. The response from Bandini was unbelievable because he said, "You've been doing all these wonderful things for the last 29 years, and we, as an Italian government, have not helped you. We should be there with you." And have it was a very refreshing response. Yeah. And he started giving us a grant to the limit possible that they can give. So I wanted to recognize Berardo Paradiso for helping with those two grants, even though then I followed up. And also he's responsible for DeSantis because he's one of the people that he brought in with him. He's been a great addition to our board.
The Italian government has recognized you too, and you have arrived at the title of Cavaliere Commendatore Grande Ufficiale, which of course is the ultimate award, I think, that the Italian government can bestow on a civilian. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you, and I must say, more than congratulations, thank you for doing what you started 31 years ago. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful legacy, but it's not just a legacy because you're still part of the committee. You're still with us, and we have the privilege of being able to take advantage of your wisdom and your presence. So thank you. I want to thank both of you for being here. And I will be seeing the two of you very soon as we get to work on our next event. So thank you.
Thank you.
It is so very important today, more than ever, that we remember the contributions of Giuseppe Garibaldi and all the Italian Americans who have contributed to Western culture, this city and this country, because without them, we wouldn't have the quality of life and the liberty that we enjoy.
And today, we're very, very, very proud to celebrate his 200th birthday, which would have been July 4th, my birthday as well. Thank you very much. And now the designer of the stamp, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Ted Jacobson.
A few months ago that I was speaking to some friends in Italy, and they were telling me all the things that they were planning to do for the 200th anniversary of the birth of Garibaldi. And I was wondering what we were doing here in the States, because after all, Abraham Lincoln had asked him to be general in the army during the Civil War, but he never accepted, or he didn't make it. But nothing was being done. Only two other countries, Uruguay and Brazil, where he had been. You know, he was the hero of two worlds. I'm not going to go into the history of Garibaldi because I think Professor Alduino will do that later on. But it was such a pleasure to design this stamp, to steal the picture from the internet, to put the design around the stamp, and then to make the design on the cover, which is the cachet. It shows you the statue of Garibaldi in Union Square Park, not Washington Square Park in New York City, Manhattan. And it shows you the design of the museum, the Garibaldi Meucci Museum. And of course, in the corner, you may not see it, in the upper right-hand corner, is the seal of the city of Garibaldi. We have only one city in the United States named after Garibaldi. It's a little fishing village, a tourist village in Oregon, right near the sea, and Garibaldi would have been fascinated by it because, after all, before he was everything else, he was a captain, he was a seaman.
3 months ago, I received a rather cryptic email from this gentleman inquiring about the possibility of a pictorial cancellation to commemorate this day. Ted actually created the stamp as well as the cachet. We, the Postal Service, put together the pictorial cancellation using one of our artists in Queens. This is something very unique. This is something very special. The Postal Service does not do this commonly. For those Staten Islanders here, just think about the odds of those that deal in probability, and think about the odds of the liberator of Italy and the true inventor of the telephone actually being here on Staten Island living together. I think that's phenomenal that the two of them were here, and I think all of us should be very proud that we're part of this history right here, because this is a tremendous piece of history right here on Tompkins Avenue.
And Garibaldi is one of the most important figures of the 19th century, not only on this side of the Atlantic Ocean, but obviously on the other side. As a young boy, Giuseppe Garibaldi took a job as a seaman and took off from the Italian coast. At the age of 16 or 17, heads out to the Black Sea. And when he returns to Europe, he, in 1833, meets someone who will radically change his life. His name was Giuseppe Mazzini. Mazzini, of course, is the philosopher of the Risorgimento. He is a dreamer. He is someone who has dedicated his entire life to revolution. It is Mazzini who convinces a young Garibaldi to join the Royal Sardinian Navy to foment revolution, hoping that this will create a domino effect throughout Italy and create a revolution that will help unify Italy. Garibaldi's revolution doesn't take off. In fact, it's a bit of a fiasco. He has to escape, which is a common theme in his life. He's constantly escaping and coming back. And he decides to go to South America, and he winds up in Brazil. At first, Giuseppe Garibaldi lends his skills as a sea captain. And then later on, he takes command of an army. It is the first true leadership that he has. He does very well. He distinguishes himself. It is also a place where he finds and falls in love with Anita. He meets Anita. He falls in love with her. And she actually joins him in the campaigns. She is a woman of steel. In the wilderness, she gives birth to Garibaldi's son. In 1848, he decides to come back to Italy. 1848 is the year of revolution. It seems like everyone in Europe is having a revolution. The Germans, the French are having problems, the Hungarians, the Poles, and of course in Italy there is a revolutionary fervor that has swept across the peninsula. He had an opportunity in 1849 to defend Rome. He exiled the Pope, Pius I think ninth, and they forced him to leave to Gaeta. He leaves, and Rome is open, and there was this wild celebration, even across the Atlantic Ocean. Again, it doesn't happen in 1848. It is a tremendous letdown for those who believe in republicanism and unification in Italy. And while he is on the run, his beloved Anita perishes. She dies, we think, of malaria. Again, we're not sure, but she is gone. After spending some time in Tunisia and some other parts of the world, he sails to the United States. The mere fact that Garibaldi is coming created a great excitement in this city. Garibaldi will arrive here in Staten Island. The officials fly the tricolor flag, which is a sign of revolution, and everyone wants to wine and dine him. They want to hold great parades in his honor. They want to do testimonials for him. Refusing to take charity from wealthy admirers, the general, Garibaldi, instead chose to work to earn a living. Any kind of labor, however severe or humble, Garibaldi argued, was preferable to idleness and dependency. For a time, Garibaldi, along with several other Italian expatriates, worked in a sausage factory right here, because as we sit and we stand. A person of his international status would be working 8, sometimes 10 hours a day under very difficult conditions. He joined a Freemason lodge right here and became a member of the Staten Island Fire Department.